Good morning, everybody. We are finishing up our theme this month of Yes, That's Supposed to Move, and today we're talking about the atlas. Why might the atlas be important to you? Well, if you wake up in the morning and you have a stiff neck, or at any point during the day you feel like you can't turn your head from side to side, the chances are really good that you have a problem in your atlas. Also, if you tend to have headaches that start at the base of your neck and they may stay there or they may wrap around to the front, again, you may have an atlas problem. So, what is the atlas? It is also known as C1 or the first cervical vertebrae. So, it is the very top of the spinal column. It's the very first one, and it holds your head or kind of supports your head in place. So because of that, so it's called atlas because it holds up the whole weight of the world, right? So because of that, it has a very special shape, and it is not shaped at all like the other vertebrae. So most of the time when you think of a vertebrae, you may have seen them. They have that vertebral body. They got these wings coming off of each side, and then one coming down the back. The transverse processes come off the side, spinous process comes off the back. Well, C1 does not look like that at all. It actually has that vertebral body, and then it kind of has these, well, they're not really wings because they have a hole in the center. And see, that hole is critically important. All of your cervical vertebrae have a hole, and that's where the artery goes up into the brain. So that is a super important hole because it protects that artery, which is super fantastic. The weird thing is that as it goes up, it gets to the second cervical vertebrae, and then it has to go out really pretty far to go through the first cervical vertebrae. So it's going up, and then it has to go back in so that it can go up into the brain. So the thing is, that's the normal pattern of the artery, right? It goes out, it goes in, and amazingly, we function with that most of the time with no problem. However, if that atlas is not moving correctly, it can kind of put some tension on that artery. And so if that artery has tension on it, you may get those low-grade headaches that start at your low neck and then go up and over your head. Sometimes they wrap around. Most of the time it's up and over when it's an atlas problem. That's just the pattern that we usually see. Now, the atlas, because of the transition between the occiput or the head and the rest of the spinal cord, is also really important for rotation. So when you're turning and looking all the way over your shoulder, if you can look all the way over your shoulder, that's considered to be 90 degrees of rotation. Atlas is responsible for half of that. The atlas is responsible for 45 degrees of that rotation. So if you have difficulties rotating, chances are pretty good that you have an atlas problem because half of your motion comes from there. So that's why the atlas is critically important, because it takes everything from the occiput and translates it down into the spinal column. It's also really important because of that hole that has that artery that goes out to the side and back in. So we don't want to get any kinking or anything like that, because we want to get really good blood flow to the brain, right? We want all that blood flow going to the brain so we can be thinking all those big thoughts. So if you have noticed that you have difficulty turning and looking over your shoulder, or if you have noticed that you get those low-grade headaches that start at the base of your head or the top of your spine, whichever one, could be that you have an atlas problem or C1. Now, we love working with people who have struggles with C1 because they're usually pretty easy to fix, and you get to see amazing results. Now, along the way, we may have to work on some postural issues. We may have to work on some breathing issues. We may have had some weakness that's occurred in the neck. We have to work on strengthening the neck so that we can keep that atlas moving correctly in the long term. But it's super fun to see people get relief from headaches that they've had for years, or to all of a sudden be able to turn their head way further than they used to be able to. So if you're wondering if you have an atlas problem, then I definitely encourage you to give us a call for a free body chat. This gives us a chance to hear your story, get to know more about what's been going on with you, and see if you're a good fit for what we do here at Physical Therapy for Everybody. Our phone number is 425-658-4944. Hope you guys have a great day. For all those kiddos in the Kent School District and all those parents in the Kent School District, congratulations. Happy first day of school. Hope you guys have a great day. And Maple Valley, Tahoma, I know you guys are getting ready next week. Have a good one, everyone. Bye.